What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Neon Trash. I'm your host, Tommy the Hammer, hanging out with BC. And tonight, it's BC's pick. What are we watching, man?
So we are going with a bit of a belated spooky season pick. Tom and I, our friendship formed by watching horror movies together, talking about horror movies at the bookstore back in the day. Typically Japanese films.
Yeah.
So I wanted to pick one that I know that Tom has not seen, that I feel like is a quintessential kind of J-horror film to watch. It's in that found footage mockumentary kind of vein. It is called Noroi, or The Curse. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I think it is going to take Tom on a wild ride.
Wow, that is quite the hype. Never heard of the movie before, but you guys know that I trust BC's judgment. So without further ado, I'm going to try and dig up a trailer for This is The Curse.
Peep that shit.
Yeah, how did I forget that? We're leaving it in.
Yeah, we are.
どうもアンガールズです、今日はですね、心霊スポットでありますとある神社に向かって大丈夫ですか、まりかちゃん。
いやー、ちょっとあっち
それじゃあみんなで行こう。
今なんか聞こえてすごいたくさんいる気がする。
なんか見えんの？
いや、見えるわけじゃなくて、
その気持ち悪い声っていうのは
私は赤ちゃん
赤ちゃんの
みんなにはね、投資をやってもらいます。
気がついたらその模様を描いちゃってるんですよ。
東京都練馬区にある広沼公
自
園で
殺しました。かぐたば。
さっきなんか映像がおかしくなったんですけど。
Hell of a found footage mockumentary, if you will. You know, I've seen a lot of these types of films in my day as BC here. It's a well-worn genre, to say the least. And we're kind of lightly talking about that because you know, when it comes down to found footage films, they could be hit or miss with audiences, and if you don't draw the viewer in with like imagery and cinematography that works and has cohesion, if you don't have good characters that you want to stick with despite all the crazy different you know, camera styles and executions that's going on, you're going to lose your audience, you know, tenfold, because it is that tumultuous. I mean, you're watching what could be construed as camcorder footage, you know, someone's home videos, and that doesn't always speak to people. But for me, you know, I grew up in the VHS generation. I've used many camcorders in my day, you know, some archaic and some super high tech, including the one that you guys are, you know, watching with this video. And even this one's a little outdated. So I definitely appreciate that angle, you know, watching low tech being utilized as a form of horror, because that's really what found footage is all about, is giving you a taste of realism. It's snuff light, if you will, because, I mean, sometimes it dabbles with murder and things like that. In this case, it's the supernatural. But yeah, like, it sends you there in a very realistic sense, despite there is sometimes a lot of polish or a lot of thought goes behind the cinematography.
I love Japanese horror films. Not huge on found footage all of the time. I like some. But every time I heard this movie come up in multiple film circles, you know, for me that suggested I should check this out. It's at least worth checking out and having an opinion on it. And so when I saw that Arrow was releasing a J-horror box set and this was in it, I immediately got it.
Yoink.
And this is my third time seeing it for everyone watching. And I have to say, I think I like it more each time. because like Tom said, there are elements of it that feel disjointed, or like you're going to be confused because it's dumping a lot of information on you. We are from the US, and so you're having to look at subtitles, look back up. It's like you're not always going to pick up on everything every time, but everything that's happening is enough to keep you invested.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, the filmmaking styles are always transitioning between like just kind of like low-tech digital to like actually on film. As you mentioned before, like found footage films can often feel very samey if you don't really care about the characters, if they're not building a kind of lore around whatever weird horror mystery thing is happening. This is like building the lore, giving you characters that you're actually going to remember or want to revisit so you can remember.
BC hits the nail on the head here. This is probably one of the best found footage, documentary style horror films that you can come across. I've seen quite a bit, and there are some of my favorites. Like we mentioned Record while we're watching this movie.
Good movie.
Yeah, like, I mean, when the genre hits that nail on the head, it really does. It hits that sweet spot. Yeah, if you're not a fan of found footage horror films, at least give this one a try. I'm not going to say it's going to win you over, but at least by the very end of it, especially if you like horror movies, you'll be like, that was a terrifying sequence, and there's plenty of them. Noroi, The Curse, I'm going to go, at this juncture, I'm with BC. You can watch this movie again. But right now, I'm thinking, even during the movie, I was kind of sitting at a flat 7. I could see it growing. So I'm going with a flat 7 for now.
I think that's very fair. That's very fair. Yeah, something else that we were talking about is like with found footage, it can be chaotic, the style itself, but the best ones are like a carefully constructed chaos.
Yeah.
It is like a dance, and like you have to get this balancing act right, or else you will just make people feel sick, or you quite literally will see nothing. This is like, you feel like you're catching things in the background. You feel like the dramatic moments are actually tense and dramatic.
Yeah.
And so I think in that way it's a more visceral experience, which when you're watching found footage, that's what you want. You want that taste of reality that you were hitting on. The stuff in here, stuff with demons, most of us, the jury's out on those. We don't really know, or we don't believe, most of us. So it's like, but you suspend the disbelief for this.
Yeah.
And
You're here for fiction.
Yeah, and you can tell that this director like actually loves this genre and knows how to use it.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. For me, I think first time I ever would have watched it, I would have said like an 8. I probably stayed there on my second watch, but I think because I keep revisiting it, I'm definitely going to go with at least a 9 right now.
Oh, wow. This lead character, I mean, he just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and finally he gets to the point where he can't push no more.
Yeah.
Things are pushing back. Well, guys, I hope we've been informative. Until the next time, tune in to Neon Trash. Keep the lights on tonight, guys.